So this one should be a fairly straightforward video. This is a 2020 Can-Am Outlander 650 Max with tracks on it, obviously, but it has a problem. The power steering is not working on this. So if we come over here, as you can see, check DPS, and there's no power steering assist at all. So I did hook this up to the Bud software, and as you can see, we got a DPS error here. If I go to faults, torque sensor open, and you go here, service actions. Basically, I diagnosed everything it said here, and we still have this error. Further external troubleshooting is not possible, and DPS must be replaced. Unfortunately, with both these codes, I've diagnosed everything, and it's replaced the DPS. Diagnosed a few things on it. What it came down to is the power steering box is faulty and needs to be replaced. So we get a brand new one in the package right here that we're gonna be swapping out. First thing we gotta do, remove this. The reason why the plastics are off is because I was diagnosing electrical, and like I said, I didn't find anything wrong with anything other than the actual power steering box. I already tore the inner fender off this while I was diagnosing. So first thing we're gonna do, tear that off. Gonna remove our steering stem. Go ahead and get that bolt out of there. Go ahead and remove this front rack. Alright, now we can pull this off. Then of course we'll pop this off. Couple of plastic push pins. Off the shifter comes. There's actually quite a few hard to reach bolts to get that air box loosened up. Once you do, you can scooch it back, and then we can get to our steering stem right here. Same thing over on this side. Then we can go ahead and remove this front cover. And at this point, this should pop right up out of there. So we just need it out of the way. We'll go ahead, unplug this, loosen all our mounts up. Most of these bolts will break. That one come out. But whatever yellow Loctite they use on that, that is extremely hard to get off. But at this point, it should pop out of there. Just like that. Before we go ahead and put that back in there, we're gonna replace these clamps right here on this coolant bottle, because I did notice these were leaking, and these are known to leak, so we're gonna replace them with some hose clamps. You can see that it's been leaking right there, so we're gonna go ahead and replace those. Use some real hose clamps. Now that those are tightened down, we can go ahead and fill up our coolant bottle. Now what we need to do is remove this mount and install it on the new one. First, we're gonna have to get that broken bolt out. Alright, a little bit of heat on that. And she's coming right out. Beautiful. Alright, now we can throw our new steering box in. As you can see, it'll only go in one way. So once we get it in there, just slide her on down. And slide that down as well. Go ahead and bolt her back into place. Go ahead and plug her in. Now I want to make sure we put some fresh grease on there before we install. Alright, so we'll go ahead and turn this on here. See what she says. Track kit installed. It says that because we have our module in there. Press the mode button. Hold that mode button in. Okay. So that's gone now. DPS. DPS. So we have to hook up our Bud software. Alright, at this point I just need to put everything back together. Alright, she's all back together. Let's get her out of here and try her out. Alright, let's go ahead and give her a little test spin. Make sure she's all set. Got her in all-wheel drive right now. Yeah, I'm noticing that speedometer is not working. That messed up on me earlier too, but it was fine. The owner mentioned it, and I said, yeah, I'll take it for a spin. Oh, there it goes. Now, sometimes this will go completely blank. It's not the speed sensor. That's the first thing I checked when I see the power steering wasn't working on this thing, because if the power steering's messed up, it will mess up the if the speed sensor is messed up, it'll mess up the power steering. But it's not the case with this one. This is internally, the speedometer is messed up, I believe. Sometimes this will go blank. Sometimes, well, the button's missing here, and it's got a crack there. I think she's seen some damage, but this thing turns so easy now. I lost the footage when I first took this thing for a spin without the power steering. You would not be driving it with one hand like this, even driving. Let's see how these tracks work. I'm in high range. This thing just, it's geared low enough. Oh yeah, just crawls over that stuff. It's geared low enough where you really don't need low range unless you're really putting along, but I mean, you could just hear the RPMs. I'm like 5,000 RPMs right there, just cruising along 9 miles an hour. So it definitely gears it low enough where you can utilize the high range. Yeah. We'll just try her out a little bit. Power steering's working great right now. I have the track kit installed. The track module plugged in. And as you can see, it's this little whatever you want to call it, little track or star thing. I don't know. But that it says we're doing 10 miles an hour right now. And there it goes. It's weird. It seems like a speed sensor, but like I said, it's not. So I do believe he's going to need to buy a new speedometer. I tried resetting it with the Bud system, and like I said, it seemed to work, but now it doesn't. So, but these tracks, these things are great to go pretty much anywhere you want to go. You got plenty of ground clearance with them, and there's a lot of flotation with tracks on ATVs. I've had a couple over the years. One Articat 650. The Articat Diesel 700 had tracks on that. But yeah, we really don't have a lot of snow. We actually lost a lot, and then we just got a couple inches last night. But these are all season tracks. Now they make two kinds of tracks here. I just did one on the Can-Am Defender not too long ago, and that had the Apache tracks. They were not all seasons. They had sliders like on a snowmobile, so you really need the snow to lube them up. These are all seasons. These are the Apache 360 LTs, so you can see that they have bogey wheels all the way around. All these wheels have sealed bearings, so there's no need for snow for lube. People use these in mud and everything. Of course, you get mud, rocks, they start chewing up the wheels. But they are made to go in that stuff. Yeah, we are doing 0. Ah, that's too bad. I thought it was gonna work fine. Like I said, I tried it out after. He said, you know, if we're doing the power steering, we might as well get the speedo fixed. And I cleared it and everything. Well, I like updated the module, the speedo module, with the buds, and like I said, it did work, but now it's glitching again. So it's too bad, but that's how it works. Get one thing fixed and then more pop up. Power steering's working great. I mean, you can actually turn this thing easily. Now with these tracks, you still, even though the power steering's on, if you come to a stop, you still really can't turn it. Well, I guess you can a little bit, but it's going to be hard on a lot of your steering components, so I wouldn't recommend it. You know, you might as well wait until you give it a little throttle. Let's see. Oh man, I thought there was going to be a lot of snow here. There was. I haven't really been up here. Actually, let's try out low range. See how. Oh wow. It's geared low. Just crawl. These things are literal tanks when you put tracks on them. You definitely sacrifice a little of your ride quality. They're a lot heavier, harder on a lot of stuff. Bearings, ball joints, tie rod ends, probably the power steering box. But yeah. Alright, and we're off. You can see they throw a lot of snow. Not so much when you're driving straight, but it's when you're turning. If you're into a lot of powder, they will throw it. This machine is fairly good at keeping it inside the bodywork, so that's good. That's good. It feels nice. It literally feels like you're riding on wheels. You don't even notice as far as the steering input because of the power steering on these, but you definitely notice the speed. Right now I'd say we'd probably be doing, I don't know, with the amount of throttle I'm at, 5,000 RPMs, we're probably doing 30 at least, and we're not even doing half of that, or we are doing half of that. But these track systems are a lot of money. It depends on what you're doing with them. I mean, if you're going to put this thing to work, a lot of people do. They'll run through the sugar woods and, you know, to get taps done. And you need a set of tracks if you're into the deep snow. Or if you're doing, I don't know, plenty of other stuff that these things are great for. But if you're just going to buy them and go out and play a little bit here and there, yeah, I don't know. If you could buy a used set, you know, I would definitely do that. But paying $4 grand or more for a brand new set of tracks that you're not going to use very often, depends where you are too, because if you get a lot of snow, I mean, obviously your ATV is not going to go too far. This type of snow, the ATV definitely would go anywhere I'm going with these tracks right now. Maybe not as easy in some situations, but we really didn't get a lot of snow this year. Strange year. Yeah, it slows it down big time. I don't even know if you do 30 with this thing. Maybe. We'll see what we can do out in the field here. Is the speedo working? Now it's really... Another thought I had was, is that module, is that track kit module messing things up? I don't know. Hopefully not, but yeah, I mean, it says we're doing slower right now. Anyways, let's see. Yeah, you know, we're getting up there right now, but that's about it. That's about it. See how she goes on the road. There's snow on the road. Like I said, these are all season tracks anyways. I'm just wondering how it's going to handle. But it definitely seems to be going good. The power steering's working, so at least we got that situated. We'll just have to see if the customer wants the speedo fixed or not. I don't know. It is working, kind of, but it's definitely not working how it should be. And there we are. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one.